Hi there traders, this is Steve Miley for FX Explained and another edition of our Macro Watch. Taking a look at all the macroeconomic geopolitical events that have impacted markets over the last week and then what we've got coming up in here over the next week. So critically in here over the last week, US and China trade war took a bit of a backseat in here over the last week. If anything, we had positive news coming through, announcement over the past week, early September, that trade talks would restart into October. So that's a positive for the markets. That on top of the fact that the UK Parliament in here was taken over by the opposition group that managed to push through a bill that now stops the government from exiting the EU without a deal at the end of October. That was taken as a huge positive for global financial markets, and that alongside the government also being defeated in here on an attempt to call a new general election has also bolstered and reinforced global markets, global equity markets are now more positive tone on the back of both the Chinese announcement on the restart of the trade talks, plus on the fact that Brexit, a no-deal Brexit now looks very unlikely, or heightened unlikeliness of that happening at the end of October, likely extending, looking for an extension now going into January 2020. And then the third thing that really happened, this third significant geopolitical development last week, was in Hong Kong with the extradition bill being withdrawn that had previously started the pro-democracy demonstrations. These three positive all saw markets move back into risk-on mode. That risk-on mode seeing global stock markets rallying higher, global bond markets selling off, and in the FX space, the pound strengthening because of the positive news regarding an avoidance of a no-deal Brexit. We also saw a weakening of the US dollar. And as I say, and also the Japanese yen, and overall equity markets stronger, bond markets lower. Looking ahead to this week, what are we looking at for this week? Well, we have some fairly light data at the beginning of the week. UK and Chinese data in here through the beginning of the week starts us off fairly quiet Monday through Wednesday, where we have Chinese trade data and UK GDP Monday, Chinese CPI and UK employment data on Tuesday. And it's when we get through really to though down here on Thursday when things start to get more interesting. We have the ECB meeting in here on Thursday. Critically, markets watching that. We also have EU industrial production data. We also have German CPI data in here also on Thursday. And then going forward into the day, we have US CPI. But the real focus is going to be on that European Central Bank meeting, monetary policy meeting, expectations of a more dovish tone. Moving into the end of the week, going through into Friday, we get US retail sales data on Friday, on the 13th of September, and also Michigan consumer sentiment data Friday. So all of that going to be very much in focus. So looking into this week, further Brexit developments anticipated, and we're going to be keeping our eye on that. Anything coming out on the US-China trade negotiations potentially, and also further developments in Hong Kong. And then really looking into the second half of the week for the ECB meeting and data we have from Germany, US, regarding Germany and US CPI data, and US retail sales and Michigan consumer sentiment index at the end of the week. This has been Steve Miley for FX Explained and our regular Macro Watch. Join us again next time. So traders, don't forget to catch us on the next FX Explained Macro Watch and all the great content on fxexplained.co.uk.